This engine is 4-cylinder and with the bore of 19 millimeter. This engine is mainly for the small construction machine and the forklift. For the forklift, in such they can use 3 tons forklift. So, for example, if you want to buy the Isuzu, you have the 4240 and the 4G G2. But compared to that price, compared to the Isuzu engine, this engine price will be just maybe the half or 1/3. So it will be a good choice if you have the limited budget.
And before we see the marine engine, now as we know, if you buy a marine engine, you also need to buy a gearbox. In our China, advanced gearbox is very popular and famous in the all over the world. Now this is the advanced 120B gearbox. Usually from 80 horsepower to 160 power, you can choose this type gearbox. And if you in the gearbox, the flywheel size and is an important part. We need to know it and choose the suitable flywheel housing to fix. And see this one. HCD 800. It's be used for the bigger marine engine, such as 1,100 horsepower engine. This is the loop air cooler. And do you want to know which engine will be used this gearbox? Follow me. This marine engine. Shanghai diesel engine. It can reach to 1,100 horsepower, and this engine also including some Cummins technology. You can turn around and see each part. See every part.
Section.
And black color, I think it's a very popular color because because we will feel relaxed.
This is a Shanghai diesel engine that can produce 1,100 horsepower. This engine, the most advantage of this engine is firstly is the mechanical pump, so the engine is very easy to maintenance. The second advantage is the price. You need to compare this engine price to Weichai, to Cummins, or to any other brand. The price of this engine is very competitive. This is the turbo right there, and this is the exhaust manifold. It is dry type, so it's covered with the heat shield. So when the engine rolling, the turbo and the exhaust manifold will be red, totally red and very hot. So with this, you can prevent injury. This is the heat changer. The seawater go there and cool down the fresh water. Then the fresh water go back to engine to cool down the engine. This is the additional pulley. If you have some wrench, some equipment that you need to drive by the engine, you can just put the pulley, put the belt, connect this pulley to your equipment. So you can use one engine to drive also the propeller and also some inboard equipment. And let's take a look at the gearbox again. This is the gearbox. This is the money to fit the around the 1,000 horsepower engine. This gearbox is the constant error one. So you can see this gearbox is mainly for the commercial boat, such as the tugboat, such as the big fishing boat. It cannot be used for the pleasure boat and yacht sometimes because it's very heavy. This is the barrel housing. This is with a high elastic couple, so the engine will be, so that at this place the engine will be coupled with the gearbox. And this is the output flange. In that place you need to connect the propeller shaft with this output flange. So engine goes through engine power, goes through the gearbox, and the gearbox transfer the power to the propeller shaft. Then the propeller transports the thrust to the propeller. This is with all the meters, so you can control all the temperature. And this one. This is what are we calling the flexible elastic coupling, high elastic coupling. This is the oil cooler. You're drawing the engine running. There will be in the gearbox to connect one to each other. So when the gearbox is rolling, there will be a lot of heat. So you need to use the oil to cool down the gear in case of any injury.
Okay, thank you for your watching and listening. See you next time. Bye.